Okay, I think we're ready to get started. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that you are all doing well tonight and looking forward to our practice. My name is Anna Woodshill from AWH Yoga, and I am subbing in for Daniel tonight. So, I'm very excited to be here, super grateful for this opportunity, really looking forward to bringing you this flow. As we are live, if you have any issues with the audio or sound, I will keep an eye on the chat so that I can try to troubleshoot that or have someone help me troubleshoot that. So please let me know. We are going to be doing a 60-minute class tonight. We will be doing a fundamentals flow, which is traditional for this time spot for Daniel's class. So maintaining true to form concept with the fundamentals flow, we will be breaking down the component parts of our postures. We will be giving some technical cues in order to ensure proper alignment in the poses, and we will also be working toward our peak pose. So if you're anything like me, your favorite, or what you would call a peak pose, is Savasana, which happens at the end. But in order to arrive at our Savasana, we do have to work through some other postures. So our peak pose will happen about 75% of the way through the class, and we're going to warm up some key body parts to ensure we're prepared for that posture. So tonight we will be doing half moon pose, or Ardha Chandrasana, which is actually balancing on one leg and a little bit of use of the arm. So in order to prepare for that, we need to make sure that we have nice open and warm hips, broad open chest, warmed up upper back, as well as that balancing element that I mentioned. So we'll kind of get on one leg and do a little bit of balancing as well. I do recommend using props tonight. If you have blocks, that's perfect. If you don't actually have a real block, you can use something similar in shape and size. You could even use a cereal box or a book, something like that, anything that can sort of bring the earth a little bit closer to you. This is a virtual class, so you can use virtual blocks. It's not a big deal. Really, the most important thing tonight, I would say, is that this next 60 minutes is for you. So this is where you need to turn on your do not disturb, and where you need to just connect with your body, connect with your breath, and just take this time to be present with yourself. So also, please have a little fun. As we're moving through this, if there anything comes up that makes you feel any sort of pain or strain, pull back from that, take a child's pose, any sort of resting posture. I have some mobility limitations myself, so I will be offering some of those modifications. But remember, you know your body best, so take care of yourself. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Please join me on your mat. We're going to begin in a seated posture. Cross your legs in front of you and place your palms gently on your knees. This is already a great place to bring your blocks into the story. So you can use your blocks or your pseudo blocks, place them under your knees, anything that helps eliminate any strain in the lower back or hips. Just take a moment here to just be with the breath and notice the sensations and the sounds around you. As you continue to breathe, noticing those things, just slowly start to de-emphasize those. So where they might have been taking up a lot of space prior to beginning your practice, now let them take a back seat. With your eyes closed, you may have that ever-present scrolling marquee of tasks and to-do lists just floating through your mind. Just push back from those. As you continue breathing, long inhales and exhales, imagine that you are seated on a park bench and that those thoughts and lists are simply passers-by. They come into your view. They're in front of you for a moment, and then they're gone. And as they go, you turn inward and you connect with your breath. Maintaining these deep inhales and exhales, place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. You can refresh your posture slightly if you need to, but really stay grounded and settled here with your eyes closed. I want you to think about 3 parts to the breath here. So as we inhale, inflating the belly in, and then the air moves through the lungs up to the chest, filling up, and then exhale back down through those through places. So inhale through the belly, lungs, chest, and exhale down, chest, lungs, belly. Inhale, belly, lungs, chest. Exhale, chest, lungs, and belly. Keep breathing like this on your own breath cycle, really tuning in to yourself. As you do this, I want you to think about what these 2 connection points are serving that we've made here. I really like adding this to my breath work because it just emphasizes that physical connection to the breath space. And it really helps me remember how that alignment is so critical. You can use the breath in so many ways. When we start to fall out of a posture or we mentally drift away, we can use the breath to bring us back to our center and to have us feel connected. One more nice breath here. And then exhale slowly, maybe sinking down a little bit in that posture, releasing your palms to your knees, and then slowly open your eyes. Beautiful. So take a moment here, do a super light shoulder roll, maybe just get a little tiny bit of movement in that posture, just to cue the body that we're going to start moving. Coming back to stillness, we're going to do a gentle twist. So on your inhale, lift your arms up above your head. And then on your exhale, gently twist to the right, placing your left palm on your right knee and your right hand behind you. Your sits bones remain centered on the ground as you move into this twist, which is only from the navel and up. Keep breathing here, seeing if you can get that chin and the gaze back over the right shoulder while maintaining that smooth breath. Again, we're just slowly informing the body that we're going to be needing a little bit more from it soon. One more breath here. And exhale back to the center. And as you come back to center, I want to remind you that this is not just a transition, but also a place to arrive. So as you're moving through your postures this evening, remember that this transition posture also has a purpose and to arrive there in a mindful way. On your inhale, arms up, and exhale, twist to the left, placing your right palm on your left knee and your left arm behind you. Gentle twist to the left. Keeping those sits bones grounded and facing forward, gently aiming your gaze and your chin over your left shoulder. Continuing that smooth breath. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, slowly releasing back to our center posture. Lovely. Moving into a cat-cow posture in our seated position. So refresh your posture, get a little more lift, and place more of a firm grip on your knees. You can still do this with your blocks or props placed under your knees, or you can move those down if you've got a little more mobility now. So first we're going to move into what is our cow posture. So we're going to arch our back, and on an inhale, lift our chest and chin forward. So inhale, cow pose, and then exhale, navel to the spine, arching the back, curling into a C, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose. It's okay here to get a little bit of a grip on those knees and kind of use your body as an internal lever to get a little more space. Inhale and exhale. One more, maybe two more on your breath. Remembering that your breath is what guides you through the practice. Your breath is your rhythm. I always like to think of the breath as sort of your own soundtrack. One more, and then coming back to stillness. Nice. Stretch your arms out to the side. Really get a big open wingspan. I know for me, even this can be pretty exciting after a day of typing or driving. So just feel that for a moment. Broaden those collarbones, soften the shoulders down. And then I want you to cross your right arm over your left in front of you and give yourself a hug. So this is a thank you to yourself for already keeping this promise and honoring what you need. And also totally free shoulder massage in case your place is closed. And inhale back, arms all the way out to the side, big stretch, and then crossing them over left over right, hugs. So I did a flow the other day where we said this was, every time we did this self-hug, it was like a promise, keeping a promise to ourselves. One more breath here, and then stretching back out on your inhale, and then exhale your hands down. So let's get ready to move a little bit more. So pushing forward, moving your blocks out of the way if you had them, over your knees and rolling into tabletop. You can also move your legs to the side if that's easier for you. So we find ourselves on all fours in our tabletop position. Palms are under your shoulders, knees are under hips, and you really want to have, take up the real estate that you can with the parts that are touching, that are our foundation on the ground. So don't be shy about doing, palms really stretched out, a gentle pressure with the tops of your legs. And then I want you to think about moving everything toward the midline. So it's going to feel really subtle, but if you think about this as your center line and you actually think about your outer hips and your outer arms, kind of rotating everything in to really strengthen this position, even though it seems kind of passive. So take a moment to feel what that feels like, engaging toward the midline, and then kind of release that. So if anyone said, get in tabletop position and you weren't doing a yoga class, you'd probably be a little bit arched and everything would kind of be a little bit loose, but really engage everything in toward that midline, feel the difference. That'll really serve us well as we move into some of our other postures. So while you're in your tabletop, you're aiming for that neutral spine. You're also aiming for broadening the shoulder blades apart and really softening. So you're not doing anything that's strained. It's really, it's a deliberate motion, but it still has grace. From here, we're going to move into our traditional cat-cow, which is actually cow-cat, but everybody says it the other way, I think, except for Daniel who says it right. So on our inhale, now that we've practiced this a little bit and seated, we should be pretty warmed up. So drop your belly, inhale, chin up, chest up, and then exhale, arch your spine, hollowing cat. It's October after all. And inhale, cow pose, belly drops, chin up. And then exhale, cat pose. Still keep pulling everything into that midline. Really feeling the strength as you move through this. Do a couple more rounds on your own breath. Continuing to warm up the spine, really getting some good mobility here. Let's do one more full cycle. And then coming back to stillness. So from here, we're going to move into a little bit of balancing. So we're going to kind of start off slow so that you can really manage moving everything in toward that midline so that each time we add to this posture, you can really feel how strong you can be when you have less of your foundation on the ground. So I want you to kick your toes up. So curl your toes of your right leg and then press your right foot back, but keep your foot on the ground. So now we've moved into something slightly different. And even though we really didn't make that much of a change, the body kind of wants to fall out. So again, squeezing in those outer hips, squeezing in those triceps toward the middle, still aiming for that same feeling of moving everything toward the midline, but our leg is back. Take a breath here and exhale. And now lift your right leg up. So feel the change. Feel how different that is. Now you only have 3 elements on the floor. What happened to your hips? You want to keep that foot flexed, that leg nice and strong, crown of the head reaching forward. One more breath. And then exhale, knee comes back down. When you bring your knee down, you want to do it mindfully and then kind of reintegrate the 4 pieces of the foundation to the posture. Let's do the other side. So kick up your toes, curl your toes, and straighten your left leg back, keeping your toes on the ground, and all of a sudden find yourself kind of with 3.5 foundation points. Keeping everything toward the midline. Breath here. Exhale, and then lift your left leg up. So you're going hip height, which is, for me, always lower than I think it is. So this is a great posture I recommend having a mirror for, just to see where your body actually is in space. Because for me, this one is always off. I always think, okay, yeah, my leg is hip height. Keep breathing here. One more. And then exhale, bring your leg back down. Beautiful. So now we're going to go from 3 to 2. So on your next breath, again, curl up your toes, reach your right leg back, keep it straight but on the ground right now, and then lift your right leg up. And then when you're ready, squeezing everything toward that midline, see how different that can be. Lift your left arm in front of you. So you have this cross diagonal energy going on, but really utilize that to come into the middle so you don't splay out. Energy through the crown of your head and shooting out of your right leg. One more breath. And exhale back down, palm down, knee down gently. Really nice. Let's go ahead and take a child's pose here. So we're going to take a child's pose kind of in the middle of these sides. So move your knees wide out to the mat if you can. You can also keep them together. Bring your bum down to your heels, and then we're going to drop into child's pose. So in our child's pose, you should be able to get a little bit of length here. We warmed up the spine pretty well. Take a couple breaths. Most important thing to know about child's pose is that it's available to you anytime. And in yoga, as in life, sometimes rest is offered and sometimes you have to take it for yourself. So anytime during your practice, you can go into child's pose. I've done 48 minutes of child's pose before in a class. So one more breath here. Now using your core, lifting yourself back up into that tabletop, lest we forget we have another side to do for balancing. Take a deep breath here and exhale to prepare. And then curl your back left toes up, stretch your back left leg out. So you're on 3.5 now, then lift that left leg up hip height, keeping those hips parallel, squeezing in through the outer hips, and then lifting your right arm up. So diagonal balancing. Lift that navel up toward your spine. That also helps with keeping everything centered. One more good breath here. And then palm down, knee down. Really nice. Take a nice breath here. And then we're going to go into gate pose with some modifications and some exciting jazz that I've added. So from your tabletop, pitch your right leg out diagonally so it's kind of off the mat. And then move all of your weight into the right side body. So into your right hand, your right knee, and then you're peeling open that left side body all the way up, planting your left foot down on the ground, kind of like think warrior two, foot down on the ground, stretching your left arm above. Now, if you can, lift your left leg up a couple inches, flexing that left foot, feeling nice and strong, watching that arm so it doesn't go back behind the plane of the body. One more breath. And exhale your left foot down. Now using your core strength, pull yourself up, arms nice and wide, big open wingspan, and then drop your left palm lightly to your leg and side stretch over to the left. Really get some space and lift, so you're getting the space between the ribs on the right side body, dropping that shoulder away from the ears. Mine just wants to run up and I have no neck. Dropping that down, stretching that side body and feeling all the space you're creating for that breath. One more here. And then exhale back down. So kind of cartwheel your hands, right palm goes down, left palm goes down, left knee, and then right knee back to parallel. And we're back in our tabletop. Let's do the other side. I'm going to move, you guys don't have to. So from tabletop, pitch your left leg out diagonally off the mat, shifting all of your body weight into your left side body, peeling that open on that right side, stretching the arm up as you lengthen the leg down and then down flat foot like warrior two. If you can, lifting that right leg up a few inches, if that's available, feeling what it feels like to have that side body all the way open, and then bringing that foot back down, using your core strength, lifting yourself up, big open wingspan, and then drop the right palm down, stretching side body over to the right. Softening the shoulders down away from the ears, feeling the space. You're lifting out of that waist. Always think of my body in two components. You kind of have like bottom half and top half here, and you're really stretching up out of that top half as you root down with the bottom half of your body. One more breath here. Can you get a little more space for the breath? And then exhale back down the way we came. So left palm, right knee, and left knee. So we're back in our tabletop. So don't go anywhere. From your tabletop, I want you to lift your knees 2 inches above, and your core should be pretty warmed up by now. Squeeze everything into the midline, lift those knees, and then hips to the sky, downward dog. Nice. So this is our first downward dog of the evening. So I recommend some dynamic movement. So as you kind of get your foundation situated, your feet are hips width distance apart, your hands are shoulder width apart or a little bit more. I always recommend taking the wrist creases and tilting them slightly out. That helps the position for my shoulders, but a generous bend in the knees and some movement. So pedal those feet, walk the dog. One of my new things I've been doing a lot lately is kind of lifting my foot all the way up. So it's kind of like running. Oh, and I got an ankle pop there as a bonus. Probably get a couple of those. And it really gives you that calf stretch super deep. Definitely not something that I do often enough because my calves are always really tight, but I highly recommend. So let's come back to stillness. Really having that full palm down on the ground to really ensure that we're trying to get that weight distribution even in the top half and lower half of our body. And then look forward between your palms, generous bend in the knees, and then tippy toe up to the front of your mat and meet me in a forward fold. Forward fold. So here we're going to find our ragdoll. So clasping opposite elbows, keeping that generous bend in the knees here, almost draping the top of your body over your legs. And now release your head and neck. Release it down. You don't need to look at the screen. There's nothing going on. You're just here hanging out. Using the weight of your head to create that decompression in the spine. This is a fantastic inversion benefit. You don't need to do handstands and headstands and crazy stuff to get really dramatic inversion benefits. Weight is pulling a little bit forward in this. And if you feel more comfortable, you can certainly put your palms on the floor or even use blocks depending on your flexibility. Wherever you are, just breathe. And when Ready? I want you to roll up super slow. So keep your knees bent. And the way I force myself to come up really slowly is I gently graze kind of my legs and knees and thighs as I'm coming up. It really forces me to sort of play this game of being super slow. And then when you arrive standing, let's reach our arms up. Inhale, exhale through heart center, and then bring your hands down, mountain pose. We're going to move into something that's not probably exactly yoga, but something that I really feel is good for us getting to our peak posture and something I just enjoy doing. So facing forward, feet can be hips width distance apart or not to start. We're going to move around a little bit. So I want you to extend your wings out nice and wide, and then you're going to touch your opposite foot and hand. So you're going to do your right foot and your left hand, and then your other one with the other one, whichever I said. And so you're really going to start to get a little bit of movement here. So go as fast or as slowly as you want to. No one is watching you except maybe your cats or your kids or something, but who cares? You get a little bit of activity here in the obliques. You're getting some twisting going on. So you're really activating the core in a different way. You're getting a great stretch here from us typing all day. Plus you get to feel loose and free in your body. Opening up our hips. Let's do a couple more on each side. I hope you're all doing this at home and laughing. And then come to stillness. All right, shake that out. Now we're ready for some sun salutations, I think. Okay, so meet me at the top of your mat and let's begin. Take a breath here. Inhale, feel all four corners of your feet. Let's take a moment just to ground down before we begin. All right, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Plant your palms down and then step both feet back into plank pose. Think about moving everything in toward that midline like we did in tabletop. Now drop your knees. From here, pitch slightly forward, elbows over wrists, and then slowly lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Once you're down, palms can remain on the side of your body, about upper ribs, and then squeeze your elbows in. Place your forehead and your chin on the mat, or it should be an or statement because I don't think both is possible. And then from here, you're going to lift up on an inhale, just your head and your chest, baby cobra. Inhale. One more breath here, just a little baby back bend, and then back down. Now, tucking your tailbone back toward your legs, engaging your elbows in, lifting your upper body up, coming back, either plank with knees down or tabletop, curling the toes back up to downward dog. Beautiful. One breath in down dog. Inhale, exhale. And on your inhale, look forward, bend your knees, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, and then lifting up, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale through heart center, hands down. Let's keep going and building on that. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Palms to the floor. Step your right foot back, hold. Hold here. Feet and hips have their own lane, so plenty of space for your hips. Front knee tracks over that front ankle. Back right leg is really straight and strong on the ball of your foot. Now squeeze in those outer hips and feel that buoyancy that it gives in your lower body. Now one breath here. On your exhale, drop your right knee down, uncurl your right toes, and then lift your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Feel that stretch in the right hip flexor. Keep squeezing those outer hips in, lifting up through the waist. Can you soften the shoulders while still having strong, engaged arms? Inhale. And then exhale, palms down on either side. Uncurl your right toes, straighten your back right leg, and then have your left foot come back to meet it, plank pose. Drop your knees down, pitching forward, elbows over wrists, halfway down, upward facing dog or cobra. Inhale, and then exhale back to your downward dog. One breath here. And then inhale, look forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now root to rise, nice and strong. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale through hands your heart center, and down by your sides. Other side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, down to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Palms on either side, shoot your right foot back, hold. Low lunge. Take a moment to get settled. Catch your breath, find your mind. Front knee tracks over that front ankle. Left leg is nice and strong and straight on the ball of your foot. Now squeeze in those outer hips. Feel that buoyancy. Inhale. Exhale, drop your left knee down. Uncurl your toes. Lift your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Can you drop your shoulders down? Can they soften away from your ears? Can you feel that stretch in your left hip flexor? One more breath here. And exhale down, palms back down. Uncurl your left toes, straighten your left leg back, pressing through the heel. Shoot your right foot back to meet it. Now drop your knees, pitching forward. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale back to down dog. How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing? Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, look forward between your palms. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Land in your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now root to rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale through heart center, hands down by your side. All right, I hope you guys are feeling good. We've got 2 more of those sun salutations with some modifications, so feel free to take a sip of water or anything that you need. I might do the same in a moment. Take a moment to ground, and when you're ready, front of your mat. So we're going to move into chair pose. So drop your hips back, settle in, weight in your heels, chair pose. Now I do my chair pose typically with my feet hips width distance apart. You can certainly do them closer, toes touching, heels slightly apart. Keeping your hands in heart center or extending them out in front of you in that V with pinkies leading. Wherever you are, breathe. One more. And then drop down, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the floor. Step your right and your left foot back, plank pose. Dropping your knees down, pitching forward. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog. From your down dog, lift your right leg up, hip height. Curl your knee into your nose, and then drop your right foot between your palms. Take a moment to get situated. Plenty of time, plenty of space. Squeezing those outer hips in. Drop your left foot down into kind of a warrior 2, warrior 1 foot position. And then I want you to peel your body open. Virabhadrasana 2. Moving your right leg over a couple of inches to ensure alignment between your right heel and the center of your left foot. Take your time to get set up. Deep breath here. Exhale out. We're going to do a little bit of dynamic movement here. So on your next inhale, straighten your right leg and bring your arms up. So inhale, straighten, arms up. And exhale, back down, warrior 2. Inhale, arms up. And get back to that warrior 2 strong. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale, back down. Let's do 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, back down. Hold here. Focus on keeping your torso facing to the side, making sure that right knee is tracking directly over that right ankle. Soften those shoulders down. Inhale here. Exhale. Now flip your right palm. Drop your left palm onto your knee and stretch back, reverse warrior. Dropping the shoulders down from the ears, making sure you still have a neck. Keep stretching. Get that lift in between those ribs. So much space for the breath. 1 more breath. And then exhale. Cartwheel your hands down. Palms hit the ground. Hips become parallel. And then move your right foot back to meet your left. Pitching forward. Chaturanga if you're ready. Or dropping halfway down into your cobra. And then exhale. Downward dog. Left side. Left foot up. Hip height. Curl your knee in. I'm going to switch sides. Curl your knee into your nose and then drop your foot down between your palms. Take a minute here. No rush, nowhere to be. Feel strong in that foundation. Squeezing those outer hips in. Now drop your right foot down so it's flat on the ground, externally rotated at the hip socket, and then peel your body open into Vira 2. Take a moment to situate. Move that left foot over slightly. Check to see. You'll have to look. Is my left foot lined up perpendicular to, mine wasn't, to the middle of my right foot? Toes can be slightly arched in, knee over ankle. Strong warriors. One more breath here. Exhale. Now we're going to do some dynamic movement. So on your next inhale, straighten your left leg and arms go up. Inhale, straighten. And then exhale back down to warrior 2. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Use your own breath rhythm. You don't have to follow me. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more together. And exhale. And now hold. Hold like you could do this all day long. One more breath. Exhale. Now flip your left palm, drop your right palm gently to your right leg, and stretch over reverse warrior. And as you stretch, check in with your shoulders. Minor disaster. Keep breathing, creating that space, lifting up out of the waist, out of that upper body. Think of your body in those two components, rooting down through the lower body, rising up through the upper body. One more breath. And then cartwheeling your hands back down. Palms hit the floor, hips face forward, become parallel. Shoot that left leg back to meet the right, dropping your knees if you're doing cobra, pitching forward. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful. Take 3 breaths here as I change sides. Clarifying breaths, or you can use your Ujjayi breathing. Whatever's right for you. This is also a great place for child's pose. One more breath wherever you are. Now meet me in downward dog. So we're getting ready to move into the part of the sequence that will include our peak pose. So maybe drop your knees and come out of downward dog and move your blocks a little bit closer. I always forget. With your blocks or your cereal box close to you, feel free to have a snack if you need to. From down dog, I want you to lift your right leg up, hip height, curl your knee in, up to the nose, and then drop it between your palms. Feet have their own lane. Squeeze those outer hips in. Drop your left foot down again into that prep for warrior 2, and then peel your body open, Vira 2. Move that foot over, check that perpendicular line, and then once you're situated, take up space. Take up space. Inhale. Exhale. All right, we're going to move into half moon. So I want you to take your left hand, place it on your left hip, and I want you to slightly move your left foot in about halfway. So take your block and place it about 6 to 8 inches in front of your right foot and to the right. You'll see exactly kind of where that is when your body gets in the position. So kind of at the same time, what you want to be doing is kind of like I'm a little teapot style. You want to be moving your body down while you're lifting your leg up. So everybody give it a try. Pushing all your weight into your right leg, grabbing that block, peeling open, but keeping your hips stacked. Flex that left foot. How much length can you get? Energy, crown of the head, really opposing from that energy going out of the left leg. One more breath. And then coming back the way we came. For some reason, I point my foot, bend that right knee back down to your warrior 2. Nice and strong, like you never left it. One breath here. And then cartwheel the hands down. Palms hit the floor. Hips become parallel facing forward. Shift that right leg back. Drop down, pitching forward. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Take a nice long couple breaths here. Nice drink of water breaths. 1, maybe 2. Settle your mind. Let go of everything we did. Got another try right now. All right, left foot up, hip height. I'm going to switch sides. Curl knee to nose. Placing your foot between your palms. Get situated, get strong. Legs are in their own lane, squeezing those outer hips in. Drop your right foot down, twisting out of the hip socket. Peel yourself up, warrior two. Move that foot over so your left heel is perpendicularly cutting through that right foot. Strong warriors. One good breath here. And exhale. Now, I forgot to tell you to move your cereal box. Please feel free to grab it. And we're going to move into our half moon pose on the other side. So from our warrior two, right hand goes to right hip, halfway up, take up a little bit less space, and then you're going to be moving concurrently, tilting the body down while lifting the right leg up. So starting with that bent left leg, shifting your weight into that, moving your block forward, and then peeling open with the side body. Beautiful. How long can you get between the crown of your head and your right leg? Stretching that leg super strong, flexing that foot. Soft gaze either down to the floor or to the side. One more breath. And then bend that left knee, find the mat right where you were, like it never even happened, warrior two. One breath here. Exhale. And then cartwheel your hands down. Palms find the mat. Hips are facing forward. Shoot that left leg back. Knees can drop. Pitching forward. Halfway down. Up. Cobra. Exhale. Down dog. Child's pose. I want you to take 3 to 5 breaths in child's pose here. Good, clarifying breaths. Really settle in. I want you to find your way back to your breath. One more good breath here. Now, reactivate your body. Come back up through your tabletop position. You can go through downward dog, or you can simply just kind of move to standing. But coming back up through your downward dog, maybe looking forward, bending the knees, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale through heart center. Beautiful. So you can face me, or you can choose to stay facing wherever you're facing. And we're going to just do a little bit of some more hamstring stretch. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. And then yogi toe grip. So I want you to take your peace fingers between your first and second toe, and then lock your thumbnail onto your toe. Bending your knees generously. I cannot emphasize this enough. There are no extra points for straight legs in any postures. On your inhale, lengthen through your spine. So you're really getting length here before we even curl forward. So lengthen through the spine, and then use your arms as a little bit of an internal lever to drop yourself down. Exhale. Keep those knees bent. Inhale. Exhale. Bring awareness to that lower back, and when you do, you will see how much space you can get. I always used to think this posture was just hamstrings, but there's so much space to get in the spine. Inhale. Exhale. You're using, again, the weight of your head to pull you forward, weight slightly forward. One more breath. And then release your palms to the floor. And we're going to move into gorilla pose. So flip your hands upside down so you're on your wrists. Be gentle, of course. And then walk your feet onto your hands. So your toes should actually be touching your wrists. You can kind of give yourself a little massage here. So we did a self shoulder massage. Now we're doing self wrist massages. Keep breathing here. Keep your knees bent. You can use the same logic. So inhaling for length, and then exhaling, but also getting this really amazing wrist stretch. And also we were on 2 feet and 4 pieces of foundation and then 2 legs, and now we're kind of on no legs because we're standing on our hands. One more breath here. Exhale. Beautiful. Take your palms out carefully from under, and I want you to move into Yogi Squat. So externally rotate at the hips, and then you can kind of wiggle yourself down into a Yogi Squat. I hope you guys didn't hear my knees cracking the whole time. This is also a great place for your block. So placing your block under your bum, you're still getting really great hip opening, especially if your feet aren't comfortable all the way flat on the ground. This is a great option. So the key to this is really lifting up. So you don't want to be collapsing in your shell. You want to be coming out of your shell. So use your elbows to push against your knees, and then use your legs to push back against your elbows. So it's kind of that countering posture and power there. Really create that stretch. You're lifting up long spine, energy through the crown of your head. Couple breaths here. One more. Nice. So in no magic fashion, place your palms on the ground, lift your hips to the sky, carefully move your block out of the way, and then you're going to heel toe your feet together, whatever your comfort level is. Hips are closer, forward fold. And I want you to lift all the way up, arms up with purpose. Exhale through heart center. Meet me at the front of your mat. Deep breath. Exhale. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the floor. Step both feet back. You can choose to do a chaturanga or a cobra here, or you can just meet me in downward dog. If you inhale, halfway lift up for your cobra, and exhale back to your downward dog. And then from here, we are going to ever so gracefully move into a seated position. You can try to do, if it's in your practice, you can do a push through and land. I'm going to do nothing of the sort. Look forward between your palms, generously bend, walk or step to the front of your mat, and just meet me in a seated position. Feels nice to be on the ground, doesn't it? It feels really good. So in our seated posture, grab your block or your virtual block or no block at all. We're going to do a couple of bridge poses. So I want you to lay all the way down and really feel when you lay down, really take note of where sort of the small of your back is. So when you lay down and you're thinking you're in a neutral position, draw your navel, I want to say slightly tuck, even though that's kind of a taboo yoga word, but really drawing your navel down so you can feel the small of your back pressing in. That's something that you want to really think about when you're in any starting posture on your back. Place your block or virtual block between your thighs and squeeze in. Palms to the floor. You can move your feet back a little bit, and then externally slightly rotating of the shoulders, and then lift your hips to the sky for bridge. In bridge pose, so excellent for the lower back, but really also getting that spine lengthening. Keep breathing here. Don't look left and right when you do this type of a posture. You want to keep lengthen your spine here and keeping everything safe, so stay always just looking forward. This is much more of an issue when you're in a class setting and you want to look at what other people are doing. But if for some reason your pets or spouses are doing something crazy right now, don't look at them. One more breath. And then exhale back down. Nice. Remove the block or your cereal box and put your feet to the edge of your mat and knock your knees in. So this is a position called Constructive Rest. This also is a great way to start or end a yoga practice. And don't worry, we're almost at the end. And then windshield wiper your legs. So you slowly move your legs left and right, very gently. I find sometimes this can be pretty intense on my low back, depending on how crazy my day was. One more breath. Nice. Let's go ahead and do one more bridge. So squeezing the block together, squeezing the cereal box together, placing your palms flat on the earth, and then lifting up hips to the sky. You really want to work your chest toward the chin and really see if you can relax your shoulders. Couple breaths here. Are you squeezing in? You're still squeezing those outer hips. Everything's moving in toward the midline. One more breath. Exhale down. Come down ever so slowly, like you're made of glass. Super slow until you've safely landed and you can remove your block. Really nice. Squeeze your knees into your chest for Apanasana, and then maybe rock a little bit side to side. You can actually take kind of that small of the back that we were talking about, roll around a little bit on that, a little bit over here. And then if you want to rock and roll up, you can cross your right ankle over your left ankle and then clasp behind your knees or kind of on your thighs. And then you get a little momentum, not too crazy. We're at the end of our practice. We want to stay smooth, kind of stay nice and slow and chill. Like roll yourself up a couple times. Feels so good on the spine. And then when you're ready, come up and face forward. So facing forward, I want you to extend both legs out straight with good active energy. Not too crazy, but some active energy. So toes up to the sky. Find your sits bones. So kind of locate those. And then stretching your arms up. Inhale, Paschimottanasana, forward fold. As you fold forward, think length. Every time you guys do a fold, I want you to think length first. So we're really getting length out of that spine before we're coming forward. And that is such a focus that you might not make it that far. Sometimes this is what I get. My hands are by my knees, just keep an open chest and an open mind, and that's as far as I go. And that's perfect. Wherever you are, just breathe, thinking about length and then dropping in. You can also keep your knees bent in this posture. Continues having a great stretch. Just like I said before, no extra points in yoga for straight legs. Yogi toe grip also available, but wherever you are, just breathe into it. One more good breath here. And then with that same lift, come back up out of the posture. Give your legs a little wiggle, a little thank you. And now bring your right knee into your chest while you're seated and then drop that down to the side so that your right sole of your foot is attached to your left thigh. So we're in a seated tree. So here again, identify where those sits bones are, keeping that left leg active and engaged, toes pointed up. Inhale, and then fold over that leg, Janu Shirshasana. Again, thinking length. So think length first before anything else, and breathe into it. One more good breath here. Nice. Lifting up again as you come out of the posture. And then place your right palm behind your right side. So kind of like when we were doing gentle twists in the beginning. And then move your left leg out about a foot. And then lift your body up and peel out. Feel such an amazingly juicy stretch after that class. I call this Sidewinder. I don't know what it's called. One more great breath here. And then exhale back down. Such a nice compliment to Janu Shirshasana. So bring your right knee back up into the chest, place it back down, facing forward, and then lift your left knee in and then drop it down to the side so the left sole of your foot is attached to your right inner thigh. Identify where those sits bones are and then inhale your arms up, stretching over that right leg, length first. Really dropping in. Just enjoy this quiet stretch. Just you and your breath. One more good inhale here. Exhale, and then think lifting again as you come out of the posture. And then placing your left hand behind you, and then moving your right leg out about a foot, and then peeling up and out into that really open sidewinder pose. Feel that stretch on the right side body. How much space can you give the breath? And then exhale back down. Beautiful. So turning back to the long ways on your mat, bringing your knees into your chest, and we're going to just slowly roll down and do a gentle twist to the side, and then prepare for our favorite posture. So you can do two knees or one. We're going to do two this evening. That's how I'm going to cue it. So leaving your knees into the body and then shifting your hips to the right a few inches and then dropping both knees down. Great place for blocks. My knees aren't going to make it anywhere near the ground, so I place a block beneath them, trying to keep my right shoulder on the floor. And you're kind of, I always think of this as like a rag, like you're twisted up. Wherever you are, just breathe. If you feel any strain in the body, you can do one leg, or you can just simply do half wind relieving pose and just bring one knee into the chest. Inhale here. And exhale, gentle twist, really sink into it. And then bringing your knees back into the chest in the center for just a moment. And then you can move your block or your cereal box to the other side, and then shifting your hips over a few inches to the left and dropping your knees down to the other side. Again, so we're twisting up, excellent for the spine. You always think about the spine needing just sort of the cat-cow or maybe the side to side, but this twist is also really excellent for spine health and mobility. Arm can be out to the side. If you're limited with space, you can certainly do a cactus arms. You can just even hang out wherever is comfortable. One more breath. And exhale. Slowly come back to the center. We'll take a quick happy baby. So bring both knees into the chest. Give them a nice thank you hug. And then flex your feet and kind of move into what would be sort of our yogi squat, but in the sky. And then your arms go to the inside of your leg, but your hands go to the outside. Now the lower part of my back, like we were talking about, for me pops up when I grab my feet, just the way my body's put together. So I grab the outside of my shins, my ankles. So keeping the lower part of your back on the floor, feeling a little stretch as you press against your leg and your leg presses back, and then maybe rock side to side. You can roll around. You can extend one leg and then the other. Whatever is comfortable for you. Very calming for the nervous system. We're telling our body it's wind down mode. And we're just ready to just drop in. Come to stillness from your happy baby. Bring your knees together. Hug your arms around your knees. Bring your head up if you can. Curl into a little ball. Super tight, super tight, super tight. And then release everything down. Savasana. As you lay here in your Savasana, palms are facing up. Your legs are turned out slightly in their natural tendency. Eyes are closed. Your lips are slightly parted. You're dropping in. You can release the need to manage the breath and just let it return to its natural rhythm. You earned this Shavasana. This is the place where you can soak in all of the benefits of our practice. I like to think of Shavasana as a cup, and we pour all the benefits of the practice. They soak in there, and then I take that with me when I leave the mat. Continue breathing here, and I will let you know when it's time to come back. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Begin to invite movement into your fingers and your toes, into your arms and your legs. Allow that movement to slowly and liquidly make its way to your center. When you're ready, ever so gently move over onto one side and stay there for a breath or two with your eyes closed. Carefully push yourself up into a seated posture, keeping your eyes closed if you can. And we will close our practice together. Please take this well-earned, beautiful, quiet moment to thank yourself for honoring what your body needed today. I am so grateful to have been a part of your journey this evening. When you're ready, inhale, arms up. Exhale through heart center. Thumbs to your third eye. We bow together. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Thank you so much for coming. Please leave any comments or feedback in the channel and we will take a look at it. I'm so grateful to have been a part of this evening. So I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you. Okay, so if I hit end stream and does that turn off all the comments? It does, right? Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So I don't see any comments, so.
Yeah. There's about a 10-second delay. But yeah, I saw Kara's comment in the beginning.
Yep.
I believe.
That was it.
Let me go back. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit end stream, and then I'm gonna turn off my phone. Okay, I'm gonna hit end. You want to end
Go
stream?
for it. Yeah.
End. And then let me make sure my phone's off.